Good morning, Tracy Tigers. Welcome to this week's edition of Principal Talk. I'm Mr. Bull.
And I'm Mrs. Lackey.
We are so excited you're here this week. Not only is it the last week of February, but it's the first week of March, and we have a lot going on here. But before we get started with that, let's say the Tracy Tiger Pledge. I respect you, and you respect me. I am responsible so all can see. I choose every day to act kindly. Always a Tracy Tiger, I will be. Well, let's jump right into what's happening this week. First of all, we're going to start the entire week out with a theme for each day to help support reading. So, Mrs. Lackey, what are we wearing today?
Well, today's comfortable clothing day, so hopefully you are dressed in your comfortable clothing on Monday. And every single day this week is a special theme, all to support Read Across America. So check with your teachers. They will let you know each day what the next day's theme is, so you can be prepared and participate as a whole school. I love to walk down the hallways and into the classrooms and see kids participating. It's really awesome to see. Mr. Bull, you're participating a lot this week too. I can't wait.
It's crazy sock day, and I have some crazy socks that my family bought me on a trip from this summer, so hopefully we can have some fun with that. Now, at the end of the night, we hope that you all can come to our reading night. We're going to be starting here at Tracy Elementary School at 6:30?
6:30.
We're coming down, and we have all kinds of activities and games. We also have food, and everyone goes home with a free book, and if you come, you get a free homework pass. So how about that? Mrs. Lackey, she made up about 347 of them, so I hope we have that many students coming for that. So that's very exciting. And Friday, Mrs. Lackey, what's happening Friday during the day?
Well, we have a really exciting assembly plan for Friday. So we have a famous author coming, and he's actually from the Erie area, and his family owns Waldemere. So all of his books and all of his stories or mysteries are based on Waldemere. I know many of you have been to Waldemere, and you could actually see it very close here to Tracy. So his name is Mr. David Gorman, and he's the author of the Waldemere Mystery Files. It's a book series, so that means there's more than one book that he's written. Some of these he will bring with him and talk about his books and talk about what he does as an author. So on Friday we'll have two assemblies. We'll meet with our younger kids in one group and our older kids in another. Your teacher will remind you those best behaviors for assemblies, but we're looking forward to going and listening from a real live author with lots of experience.
Here's a little fun fact, and I don't know how many people know this, but how many of you have ever had a babysitter before take care of you maybe when your parents or grandparents go out? And I see a lot of hands are going up in those classrooms. Mr. Gorman, Mr. Bull actually used to babysit him when he was in elementary school. How about that? Here from Tracy Tiger Talk. Well, let's jump into that problem-solving steps. I remember we've done S, T, and E. What are we doing today?
Well, we are on the final step for problem-solving steps. It actually starts with the P. Let's consult our sign here. The P stands for pick the best solution. And under there it says make your plan. So the second step tip this week says the final problem-solving step is P. Pick the best solution.
Once you've named that positive and negative consequence of each solution that you thought of, you have to make sure that you pick the solution that works the best.
It's so easy to remember our problem-solving steps because they spell the word step. S-T-E-P.
Using the problem-solving steps will help you get along here at Tracy Elementary School, most certainly with your friends and family.
This week, if you have a problem, remember to step it up and use those problem-solving steps. Now, Mr. Bull, we had a problem today, you and I. We didn't know how to tape our principal talk.
We did. And the problem was?
We don't have anyone to tape our principal talk today.
We placed no blame. I think it was because Mr. Bull forgot to set that up.
But no blame was placed.
No blame. So we thought of some solutions. What could we do? And what did we think of, Mrs. Lackey?
Well, we thought about getting some teachers to help us, but everyone was in a class. That was kind of the consequence. I didn't want to take a teacher out of their class.
So then we were kind of thinking, we thought maybe we could have a student tape us.
We were.
And so that's one of the possible. So we could have a teacher, maybe we could have a student. So we had to think about consequences, exploring the consequences. Well, if we took a teacher, who's going to teach the class?
That would be a problem.
We had to cross that off.
later in the day, but we did that last week, if you noticed, and we were hearing the bells throughout the principal talk. So that consequence wasn't great because it interrupted our program.
We thought maybe, no news. But then how would we tell you all this information? So cross that off the list.
So we ended up picking the best solution, I think, and our solution this week was to ask a student. We have a special fourth grader, Liam, helping us today behind the camera. He came down and embraced it with a growth mindset and said, yeah, I don't know exactly how to do it, but I'm willing to learn and show me what to do. He's been a great videographer for us today.
Certainly. So be thinking about someday, maybe Mr. Bull or Mrs. Lackey will be selecting you to do some of those helpful activities around the school, maybe even taping Principal Talk. So with that, I know it was a little longer this week, but we love Tracy Tigers and we love our school. So with that, have a great Tiger. Bye.